Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Carolina Wagner, whose the title of whose lecture is Musical Mother Tongue, Singing Voice as the Learning Tool in Elementary School in Argentina.
Can we have the images? Yeah. Okay, I will sit because I practice my lecture sitting. Good morning to all of presence. I'm really very happy to be here and very grateful for this opportunity to share my work with you. My name is Carolina Wagner, and I came from Argentina. I don't know if everybody knows really where is my country, but I'm first a teacher, so let's go to work. Who can find my country in the whole world? That is the place that I live. So far from here. This program was carried out in 2010 in first grade, elementary school of Rudolf Steiner School, Florida, Buenos Aires. The proposal was to apply to the music curricula a methodology of organized teaching based on the singing voice. I had to comply with the requirements of the official program of music as well as with the objectives of the school itself. The initial goal was to work for 3 years with the same group, 28 children. I started with the first grade, based on the work on building a repertoire of songs and music-based game with the aim of developing what I call the musical mother tongue. The sounds and images learned and personally experienced were then transformed into recognizable, interpretable written symbols, as it happened when learning the spoken language. The organization of classes was fundamental. For such purpose, planning was made in blocks of 4 weeks, in addition to the overlapping teaching axis between this system of music education through the voice and Rudolf Steiner Waldorf pedagogy. This point of convergence include the hypothesis of a relationship between the developmental stages of the child musicality with the ones of the historical evolution of human musical productivity. The importance of music education to achieve a training that takes into account the child as a whole. The organization of the educational project in blocks, in which the teacher combines the freedom of action with the systematic planning of proposal focused on gradual and clear objectives. Let me introduce you in some kind of historical context. Argentina has a long tradition in teaching music in schools. In a context of innovation in late 50s, the Kodai conception began to awaken interest in our country. It came from the hand of teacher training in Hungary, among them Domonkos László, Piroska Katalin, Evers Gabriela. You can see Evers Gabriela conducting the Argentine-Hungarian choir. Each of them included in his or her musical work as choir director or music teacher fundamental concepts of this conception, promoting the formation of school and family choirs. In the same way, they sought to arouse interest in the development of the musicality of their students with the deep conviction that all children are potential musicians. Since my childhood, I was in close contact with this conception. My parents were Hungarian, and I was the daughter of Mrs. Ebers Gabriela, one of the multiplayer agents of this methodology in my country. I naturally received musical education from this perspective, and happy memories of games and songs left their mark and later become the focus of my music career. As I began my work as an educator in elementary schools, the influence of Kodály conception was always present in my way of teaching, and it was the way I was musically training since early childhood. That the one with the flute, it's me. Much of my teaching work was developed in school following the Waldorf pedagogy. It was then through practice that I found possible links and articulation between Kodály proposal and developmental stages of the child musicality that guide the pedagogical approach of Rudolf Steiner, the father of Waldorf pedagogy. What I live and experience immediately related to my own musical development. For more than 5 years, I researched how to implement an organized way the material and didactic methodology that I had naturally adopted myself as a child. In 2006, I was awarded a research grant by the Academy of Science together with the Ministry of Education of Hungary. The question that guided the research and that I aimed to responding during my stay at Kodály Institute at Kecskemét, Hungary, were: is the implementation of the Kodály conception in Argentine school possible? And if the answer was yes, what elements and resources are directly applicable and what should be modified? Since I said earlier, my work in music education was linked to Waldorf pedagogy. The articulation of both visions was necessary and matter for this project. Within this point of contact, we can find, for example, the pentatonic music as material for the initial level, imitation as the basis for learning, the image and experience as priority over intellectual discourse, the happiness to learn, the student's own music as a key teaching material. In Argentina, the school program proposed only 1 or 2 hours per week for teaching music. Ever since the formation of teachers, the awareness of the importance of singing as a learning tool of musical language is little. To this, we must add that mothers hardly sing lullabies to their babies or transmit their own songs book as musical mother tongue. Nursery rhymes are being cast aside in a corner at the risk of being lost forever. The nursery melodies represent an elementary level in music. This is another reason to consider this material as it represents the previous step for the development of more elaborate music. The conception of music education based on the musical mother tongue proposed by Kodály became for me in a work model to be used. The first task was to organize the material suitable for the creation of this musical mother tongue. That is to say, the seed which would allow the natural flow of the written and formal representation. Argentina is a country of immigrants. The native population was decimated and colonized. It is a fortune that thanks to several researchers, we have a registration and classification of many of its melodies. And there are several native peoples who continue the traditions. But these songs are most sung in native language that are not our current language, Spanish. The rhythms of each language do not match. In the other side, much of them has an instrumental character not able to be sung. However, when an Argentine listens outside his country some of these tunes, he feels it as its own and gets excited about it. For some reason, our adopted land gives us also his music, but it's hard for some of us to link it with our mother tongue. Our parents and grandparents belong to another land, and is the traditions and melody what also shape us. The environment of a new country forced me to think a lot in which was our native mother tongue. For these reasons, the election was focused on finding those tunes that were formed based on certain Kodály melodic patterns. That is to say, small ideas with musical sense that when put together could build more complex musical discourse in the same way as word from phrases, phrases from speeches, ideas, etc. My hypothesis is that music, mother tongue, is a concept in itself. My definition would be something like small musical ideas which together generate more complex ideas that must be learned by imitation, by playing with them, by moving them in such a way that may be appropriate in the most intimate way possible. Melodies belonging to our children's songs were chosen. Most belonged to colonial songbook and were collected by several researchers and educators, including Domokos László, arranging them under the concept of melodic nuclei, which are primary tonal relationship proposed by Kodály as generating cells of musical discourse. The songbook classified in such way was finally formed with 28 main melodies. Those were considered as the minimum material to start to form the corpus of this musical mother tongue, from which to begin to sensitive the element of musical language. Melodies from Waldorf songbook were also included, as to these groups, songs also belongs to the musical mother tongue. Most of them are pentatonics. For example, at first we have Somi. We have very few melodies with this pattern, but this is one that we have, and later I will explain to you how we use this Somi. But we have all kind of melody here. For example, the first one, a la ronda ronda. A la ronda ronda soplará el sonda, en la huerta de Palán las ciruelas caerán. This is an original German song, for example. We have, for example, el lagarto y la lagartija van juntitos a tomar sol, mi re do re mi do. This is a French song, for example. Sobre el puente de Aviñón, todos bailan. I think everybody knows that song. Una flor de la cantuta en el río se cayó, púsose contento el río, su perfume se llevó. This is a pentatonic tune, and this is from South America. de ayacito, de ayacito, de ayacito, ya viene el carnavalito, de ayacito, ya viene el carnavalito. This is a song with the north of our country. We call it carnavalito or Wagner. This is pentatonic too, like canten señores cantores lo que venían cantando. But we have Fray Santiago, Fray Santiago, Fray Santiago, duerme ya, duerme ya. Everybody knows. I also sing this song in a lot of language at class. Then we have also arde el fuego, dejad vuestras tareas. This is, everybody knows that song. And we have, for example, the last now, before the last. Mi burrito no se apura, aunque me ponga a llorar, porque en el pueblo ya bailan para el carnaval, para el carnaval. This is a pentatonic tune, but we call it a mestizade because it had T sound. And this is the result of the overlapping of native song with Spanish influence, for example. In the other side, this is a common concept between Kodai and Steiner pedagogy with reference to timing and rhythm. For both authors, each class should be prepared as a musical creation. To organize classes, I choose the lesson plans designed according to Perilyn Laszlo y Szabó Helga suggestions. That's mean. All the classes was built having these moments. It was an election to organize the class rhythm. Everything we have, a guessing game, song. Then we have the moment of a new song, rhythmic games, develop hearing. Then we have the new knowledge when we are prepared to receive it, vocal exercise, improvisation, and so on. As I told you before, I need to build the corpus that I can call music a mother tongue. Then I decide to dedicate all the first part of the school year to work on this insert. It means that for 4 months, the only thing we do in music class is singing, playing, only, nothing more, just to achieve this musical mother tongue. For example, this is a model of class. I told you that Waldorf pedagogy proposed planning lessons in blocks. With reference to the music classes, a period of 5 weeks or 10 classes was focused on the following songs and activities. It means that for 10 classes, I always make this sequence, building more and more difficult activities in only the same songs, just to learn it very, very deeply. Then, for example, we have a beginning song. Escucha del claro son, llega ya en su esplendor. And with this we begin. Sometimes I play it with some instrument to bring another sound to the class. This is a la ronda, ronda that I sing to you, and this was the invitation to make a round at class. We put all the stuff on the center of the classroom, and we always made the first part of class in round. Then, for example, when I choose also to work with the rhythm of the language. Then, for example, I choose a rhyme. Sorry, I couldn't see anything. I choose a rhyme and to play with the kids. And then I say, en la casa de Pinocho todos cuentan hasta 8. Pin 1, pin 2, pin 3, pin 4, pin 5, pin 6, pin 7, pin 8. Then she went and I ask, what is your name? And they answer me. And then we work with the rhythm, with the language rhythm. Yeah, with the beat, with the language rhythm. That's the way that we work with So-Mi that I told you before, that we have very few songs with this pattern of minor thirds. Then we have a repertoire just for playing. All that songs are with Do, Re, Mi. Con mi martillo, 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 ya lloviendo está, with Do, Re, Mi, and we are playing and making some jests with this, and so on. 5 weeks later, we have all these patterns with us at classroom. We work with pitch, duration, timer, intensity, texture, just fifth interval, major triad, minor triad, melodic pattern like So-Mi, Mi, Re, Do, Do, So, La, So-Mi, beats, long and short, quarter note, eighth note, quarter rest, inner earring memory, and all kinds of practice in singing. This is one of the melodies that we sing. Another. Then all the year we work with this, and we could work with a lot of things and building melodic aspect. We have the knowledge of 50 traditional melodies. We work with technical vocal aspect. We work with rhythmic aspect, with polyphonic aspect, morphological, music appreciations. And let me work with you a little bit if you want. I need this side. Please, can make this for me. Shh. 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 It's mean Tao, shh, Tao, shh, ta, 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 Tao, shh, Tao, shh, Tao, shh, ta, 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 Tao, shh, Tao, shh, ta, 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 Tao, shh. If there's some with the courage to make both things, you can. Then I need do, do, so, do, so. It's so deep. Do, so, do, so, do. So, do, do, do. So, do, 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 do. And I need another group, please, from at the back. So, mi, mi. So, mi, mi. So, mi, mi. Do, so, 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 so. Do, so, 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 so. cuando empiezan a brotar, señal que viene llegando el carnaval. The overlapping of teaching axes between Kodai music education through the singing voice and Steiner pedagogy results in the construction of a microcosmos of music and creative interaction, like a land where we belonged. The character of the classes promoted the development of musical mother tongue, our mother tongue. This language was incorporated only by imitation and through games and round, and only after this we started to write and read. Testimony of teachers and parents said that the children sang at recess at home, sharing music with their relatives and social environments. Parents and teachers recognized several of the songs as part of their own childhood. The classroom and school habits improved. The kids enjoyed their music classes. The goals of the curricula of elementary education prepared by the Ministry of Education of Buenos Aires were over-completed in all the aspects. There is no doubt that the fact that singing voice was a powerful teaching tool at my school. We have a long way ahead because in Argentina, not everybody considers that all children have the right of music literacy, for that is considered as very important and useful only for musicians. We know that teacher can make the difference. It is clear that we need qualified teachers who realize the importance of singing voice as learning tool. There is a need for a systematized, suitable melodic corpus based in our very rich multicultural tradition to learn from. As a response to this interest, since 2007, I'm teaching at the National University of Art in the music department, preparing future music teachers about how to use Kodai conception in music education in Argentina. The conception Kodai as a guide deserves our attention, study, and acceptance everywhere as an educational tool based on years of study and observation of human history and a deep knowledge of mankind and the learning process. It leads to the deep conviction that every man is a musician waiting to make through his right to develop his musicality and reach his potential as a whole person. Thank you for your attention. Thank you very much. I don't know if we have...